All right, this is the part two to the M5A1 Stuart by Classy Hobby in 1/16 scale. The overall construction is done. Came out pretty well. Not too bad. The turret's complete now. All the stowage that I'm going to put on it, I think, is on it. The bustle rack on the rear turret I just made out of some sheet styrene, and the side storage area for the MG, I'm just going to use that as some external storage. And if you can tell, I've got the stowage in the rear bin in place and secured. The suspension's all mounted, so nothing too difficult there. We'll probably use the driver's little shield. I'll just mount it, in the stowed position there. No biggie. And then on the rear back here in the turret, the gas cans will come out. And then the German one will come out. So I'll just put a floor in the bottom there, and might put a tarp or something like that back there. The turret was a challenge, and I'll start right up here where you can see I had to fabricate a part that was broken in my kit. I'll show you right here. If you look right there, that's supposed to be A6. And I don't know if that's a mismold / broken, but that's supposed to be part of the machine gun mount on the side of the turret. And there's no salvaging that. It was pretty jacked up, and that is part. It's on the A sprue, and it's A6, and yeah, that was kind of a bad deal. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just kind of fabricated as best as I could what it would look like, and in the instructions right there is what it's supposed to look like. Not exactly, but if something happened in combat and that got damaged, you're gonna have to fabricate something. So that's what I did. I think it came out okay. It's a little bit simpler, but it works. It's doing its job. When you go up here to the periscopes, the big challenge there is over the gunner's periscope right here. This is the gunner sight right here, and they call for using these parts. I forgot the sprue name, but they're number 73 right there. Now that's pretty insane to use that. So what you'll want to do is just get you some sprue rod, plastic sprue rod. You could probably even just stretch a sprue to get that, but I just happen to have some round stock, and I glue the vertical pieces up first. Then made the back pieces, and then using one of the backs as support, glued the top to the front, and then glued this back one. And when that was pretty close to solid, then I installed this piece, and it seemed to work pretty well. I did also, replace some of the grab handles with brass rod. Same deal with the periscope guards up here for the commander. Did the built the ends first, and then laid the tops across, glued it all together. Went together well. I don't like the big honking spotlight, so deleted that. Just left the stand for it because it was probably stowed inside the turret, I believe, anyway. And gun, coax MG, no issues. Added the weld bead for this side portion of the turret right there. And then the actual turret itself. Let me move this. Alright. There's the turret basket. And I just kind of gave it a simple coat of white inside there. Nothing too crazy. But the gun, the main gun, the 37 millimeter, does not have like a trunnion. There's no up and down. So after you have that 37 millimeter gun built, and you go to install it behind this front armor plate, and then into the mantlet, whatever elevation you've got is what you're going to get. See, I just have a slight, maybe 3 to 4 degree elevation on it, and you may get something different. It's just how that goes in there. There isn't a trunnion. The gun is sandwiched into this piece, and then this piece slides over. So the very bottom of the gun carriage is right here, and that glues behind that. So whatever you're going to get for elevation is what you're going to get. There's no up and down with this. It's basically in place. All right. It's kind of hokey in a way, but it is what it is. The rear turret bustle is just some styrene stock, built up, glued together. If you look at it, it just barely clears that fence. So if you're going to do one, glue it above right there. That may give you a little bit more of these grouser stowage areas. That they make a great little glue point. You may want to go up a little bit higher. I mean, mine clears the hull, but it just barely clears that right there. So that's something to think about if you decide to build a bustle on the rear of your turret. There's a lot of detail parts inside the turret that you're never going to see, and if you just want no hatches, closed, buttoned up, you can forego all that detail and skip like 3 steps. The rest of the turret, really pretty basic. Nothing really to comment on it other than the main gun has no elevation. There isn't a trunnion. It's like layered together. like a sandwich, and the elevation you're going to get is the elevation that you're going to get. Those periscope guards are fiddly, but I think, you know, it's a necessary detail I think that you should have on the tank. You know, leaving it off looks, you know, kind of suspect in a way. Kind of a bum deal about my A6 part being broken, but I think I did a pretty decent workaround. You know, I think it's going to work. Using this area right here for stowage, I think is a good idea. And I've seen a lot of photos with a lot of stowage on these tanks, and I think you would have used any space you could have, because I don't know if there was actual floor in the bottom of this, but I was thinking, why not, you know, put a floor in it, you know? So put a floor in it, put a little edge right there to keep stuff from kind of falling out the back. Because on a turret, you know, you're gonna want, you know, you don't want anything binding it up. Everything else went pretty well with it. It's a decent little tank, all done up. So yeah, big takeaways: periscope guards. Those things are fiddly. This part here, P7, that one there broke. And doing the PE, you know, replacing some of the plastic parts with brass rod, ensuring that you you know, take this and do a good job with it. I know mine's probably not exactly 100% right, but it's close enough, right? The grousers stowed on the side of the turret, I think, is a plus. I like that. The stowage bin here, like I said, you're going to definitely be able to see stuff inside there, so I would put stuff in it, you know, just to make it look used a little bit. The antenna mount, not that big. I got the hole, not that big of a deal. Got the hole drilled out to you know, put an antenna in there, so you can do that. Kind of a shame about the turret in a way that, you know, if you're going to have the hatches open, I mean, you can't even really see in there much. You can see the gun, a little bit of the elevation mechanism that's purely static, doesn't move. You know, I mean, it's got some good detail in there. They got the radios in the back. I don't know if you can see it, just barely see those. But yeah. Not a bad little tank. Couple minor hiccups with it, but you do what you do and you move on to the next stage. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave something below. Thanks.